wear a shirt and tie with a kilt without a vest?
Shirt and tie without a vest. Yes, you can wear just a regular dress shirt and necktie with a kilt. Generally, I'd say if you're going to wear a tie, I generally would prefer to see you with a jacket, at least with an argyle or with a tweed jacket, even if you don't have a vest on. Mm-hmm. How do you feel about that? Just out of curiosity.
I like my layers, so my personal opinion is I prefer to have a vest or a jacket on, just for the three-dimensional effect of it, and I like to downplay the tie so that it's more of a spark, an accent of interest up here. Now, have I worn a kilt with just a shirt and a tie? Yes. You can harken back to some military tradition for that. You'll see in old photographs plenty of examples of people in in field uniforms and such where they have a tie and they have a military shirt on and there's no jacket because they're in North Africa, something like that. So
might be warm.
Yes. So there's a precedent for doing it. If you're going to do it, keep it crisp and make sure that the length of the tie is good. You don't
meets the top of the kilt,
exactly.
Not a ton below.
Yep.
Not real short. Basically meets right at the top of the kilt.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. And I personally like tie bars if I'm doing that because it just keeps everything again nice and straight and angular, which I think is what you want, for the silhouette with a kilt. You want everything to be very rectangular and very, you don't want a tie flopping around ever. Yeah. but with a kilt, it's less forgivable to me at least.
Yeah. Well, it's because it's griddular. Is my word?
Griddular.
A pattern, a grid pattern on the actual fabric itself. Mm-hmm. And you're going to have a gig line, a line centered dead in the center of the kilt, so you should effectively be symmetrical right and left. Mm-hmm. Now, one random thing I'm going to point out as well, one thing I've noticed in the past year or so, I've gotten a few vests with lapels on them. And when you put a lapel on a vest, you actually have a little bit of fabric on the back side
the roll,
as well, a roll of fabric on the back side. So when I'm wearing a necktie with a vest with lapels, it ends up the fabric kind of grabs the tie and makes it angle over to the side.
Yeah.
So it's always best practice to wear a tie bar with a tie when you're wearing a vest with lapels because it keeps the tie nice and straight and centered. I've noticed a few times myself in pictures where my tie is off to the side and it just looks odd.
Oh yeah.
Underneath the vest.
That happened to me when we did that photo of the group in the shop last week, and I looked at the photo afterwards on my tie. I was like, no! But
it's so close.
I would go further, and I would recommend that if you're going to not have a layer over the tie, if you're just doing the shirt and tie, veer towards doing a solid color tie, not a pattern tie, because again, you don't want this rectangle of patternness distracting from the tartan in your kilt. Keep it simple. Mac, what I was saying about the military jibe? With your experience with like British Army uniforms,
especially with officers, you see a lot more of that with with the officers and especially Northern Africa, any of the warmer climates, India, same way.
That's what I thought. Okay, cool.
Now the other.